Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran. Wow, we're looking at Surah Hadith, which is chapter number 57. And the reason why we're doing it is the Quran is a magnificent Quran. It's a glorious book, and it is a lucid and a very clear Quran filled with rational and logical thinking. And the reason why we are filling our brain with useful knowledge and wisdom is to have a beautiful brain, because all of us have a magnificent brain. And the best way to improve your brain structure and function, to improve your dendrites, your neuroplasticity, and your interconnection between the various synapses in your dendrites, is to fill your knowledge with the best wisdom and knowledge. And the best wisdom and knowledge is from the Quran, as we've said many times before. Please remember to send me your hearts. I love to receive hearts, and I'm sending you my hearts. And please remember our purpose on earth. We have been created. The soul has been created. Our body has been created. Soul is in the spiritual dimension. Our body has been created from the earth, from sand and water. And then at the time when the baby has been conceived, then the body and soul are united. You spend your life on earth with the body and the soul together. At the time of death, the soul is removed from the body. The soul is taken out. The body returns to the soil. But then when the trumpet is blown, there's absolute guarantee that the body and the soul will be brought together again, and every human being on the day of judgment will stand in front of the Creator Supreme without any doubt. Even if you don't believe in God, there's an absolute guarantee that you will stand in front of Him. Every human being, the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the atheists, the agnostics, the New Age religion, the witches, even those who don't believe in God, the traditional believers, it doesn't matter who or what you are, as long as you are a human being. If you look like a human, you walk like a human, and your blood test tells you that you are a human being, then it's an absolute guarantee that you will stand in front of that entity who created you, even from the Pope to the President, from the farmer to the pharmacist, from the doctor to the dictator. Every human being, absolute guarantee, will stand in front of the Creator Supreme. And the verses that we're going to look now is to try and remind us that the life of this world is temporary. The universe was created 14.7 billion years ago, and the earth was created 4.5 billion years ago, but our life on earth is less than 100 years. 100 years divided by 4.5 billion, basically we don't even exist. It's 0.0000001, right? So let's look at this beautiful verses today. Very thought-provoking, makes us think. I'll just try and keep it over there so I don't know if you can see that. Right, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Know it well that the life of this world is nothing but a sport and pastime, and a show and boasting among yourselves, and a rivalry in wealth and children. Its example is of vegetation after a shower of rain, which delighted the tillers. Then the same ripens, and you see it turn yellow. Then it becomes straw. Contrary to this is the life to come. There is severe torment and forgiveness from Allah and His good pleasure. The life of this world is nothing but illusion. Therefore, strive in rivalry with one another in hastening towards the paradise, the vastness of which is like the vastness of the heaven and the earth, prepared for those who have believed in God and His messengers. This is God's bounty, which He bestows on whomsoever He wills, and God's bounty is absolutely immense, which we cannot even understand or even measure. So I'll just leave this up for a few minutes as we try and absorb it, or if you're going to try and read those verses again. Let's look at the analysis of what does it mean that know it well that the life of this world is nothing but a sport and pastime, and a show and boasting amongst yourself, and a rivalry in wealth and children. Example is that of vegetation, and the life of this world is nothing but illusion. So that's basically what it tells us. It's a reminder that many times, even if you see around us, and especially now with the advent of social media, you see that everyone is just chasing money. There's competition. There's boasting in how wealthy one person is, how rich one person is, how rich another person is. Boasting about your children. Oh, my kid got 7 A's. How many distinctions did your child get? Oh, my kid is a very good violin player. My kid can play piano. My kid can play tennis. My kid can play soccer. My kid is like this, and my kid is like that, and my kid is like this, and my kid is like that. And those whose kids or those who don't have the wealth, and unfortunately the men then get pressured to then try and do various type of schemes to try and rob their way into getting their wealth. So the example of this world, the verse of the Quran tells us that the example of this world is like a shower of rain. That means the world is dryness. When a little bit of rain falls, then the vegetation grows. The flowers start springing up. The apples and the oranges and the watermelon become nourished and beautiful. The farmers become very, very happy that everything has now become green. But very, very soon, everything becomes dry. It becomes yellow, it becomes straw, and then it disappears. So this is an absolute and a clear reminder that the life of this world is only temporary. The life of this world is going to end. The only thing that will remain is the life in the hereafter. Everything in this dunya is going to go away, right? In the same way that when the rainfall is gone and everything, then afterwards you find that everything is now disappeared and everything will turn to dust. The life of this world is going to turn to dust. Everyone's cars will turn to dust. The magnificent businesses that they had was going to turn to dust. All the skyscrapers will turn to dust. Everything will turn to dust. And every human being, whether you like, no matter how wealthy a person has been, no matter how boastful they've been about the children and the wealth, everything will turn to dust. We have come into this world with absolutely nothing. We have come into this world naked with absolutely nothing, and we will go from this world naked with absolutely nothing. We did not come with pockets of gold into this world, and we will not leave with pockets of gold from this world. The only thing we will leave with is a good deeds. Have we been a good human being? There's only two things we leave with: our good deeds that we have done, as well as the muhabbat or the love that we have for other people. Have we shown acts of kindness? Have we shown random acts of kindness, not only to human beings, but also to the animals, to the birds, even to the plants and to the vegetation, even to the environment? We must take pride in our country, take pride in South Africa, take pride in Africa, no matter what country you're living in, whether it's America, Malaysia, Indonesia, Europe, France, Germany, doesn't matter, Australia, Sweden, China, Japan. Take pride in your country. Look after your country. Try and ensure that you select and elect the best leaders, not the tyrants, not the dictators. But history has shown, as we are seeing, like the downfall of the president of Syria. He's basically run away from his country. And then we had in Bangladesh also, the president or prime minister of Bangladesh had to run away. There's so many other people, and history has shown that every tyrant, every dictator, everyone who has oppressed the people, eventually their power comes crumbling down, because oppression doesn't last. Oppression is a zulm, and oppression is a day of darkness, not only in this world, but also on the day of judgment. Right. So we see that the life of this world is a temporary life. Its spring as well as its autumn is temporary. There is much here to allure and tempt people that, oh, everything, we must just do everything. Let's chase after the world. Let's chase after the world. These temptations are there just to test human beings. And people are then deluded and fooled and eluded into thinking that in attaining these things, that is a supreme success. So because there's so many temptations, well, people then define or measure their success. Oh, if I got a big car, I'm a successful person. Or if I got a big house, I'm a successful person. Or if I go for 10 holidays a year, I'm a successful person. So the more richer I am, the more successful I am. But people are forgetting, under what criterion are you measuring success? You could be a multi-billionaire, but if you're not a good human being, if you're causing harm to people, if you're not even good to your staff people, if you haven't even looked after other people, if you don't even know your creator, if you don't even know who created you, if you don't even know the meaning of your life, then that means all of those trappings of success come to meaningless. It is a chase for what they call it the mana or mananda, chasing after money and chasing after wealth and thinking that is the be all and end all of everything. Yes, you will get your awards, you will get your gold medals, you will get everything itself, but that is the only thing you will get. And the day that the breath is taken out of you, that is the day your spiritual eyes will open up, because an absolute guarantee that every human being, after the death, the soul will be put back into the body, and you will then stand in front of the Creator to give an account of what you have done on the life of this world. So the life hereafter, the life in the next world, the life in the afterlife is splendid, and it is an eternal life. It is not a short life like the life on this world. The benefits in the hereafter are great and permanent, but its losses are also great and permanent. The one who attains the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who attains the forgiveness of God most merciful, the Creator Supreme, and who attains His goodwill, will indeed have attained everlasting bliss, an abode of peace and happiness and the good pleasure of his creator. And that's all that we want. We just want the good pleasure of the creator supreme. So the next few lines, what does he say? Therefore, strive in rivalry with one another, in hastening towards a paradise, the vastness of which is like the vastness of the heavens and the earth. So the Quran is now reminding people, don't boast, don't make competition to see who's got more money. That's one type of competition. The better type of competition, instead of seeing who's got more money and whose children are better, is to see, okay, who is now competing to trying to get the paradise? Who is competing to try and get there's so many mosquitoes here, to try and attain the pleasure of your creator? You must strive in attaining the paradise. There's two types of transactions. The transactions of this world are known as electronic financial transaction, EFTs. And I say many times in my program, don't focus too much. Yes, EFTs are very important because you need money to survive in this world, but let that not be your total focus. You need to also spend time for the hereafter. In the same way that you become a property developer of this world, become a property developer of the Akhirah. Right? Start investing in properties in the hereafter, and start competing with one another into seeing how can you get the Akhirah. And the last few lines, it says, therefore, right, this is Allah's bounty. This is the bounty of God, most merciful, which He bestows on whomsoever He wills. And Allah's bounty, God's bounty, this Creator Supreme's bounty is limitless. It is absolutely supreme. It is immense. We cannot measure the bounty of the Creator. If you strive a little bit in His path, He is so pleased with you. That means that you have given, because anything that you do to attain the hereafter, it means it is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice. And we need to embrace what is known as contentment. Yes, strive and earn as much money as you can, but don't forget the poor, the widows, the orphan, those in difficulty, and try and say a share of my money belongs to other people. That's the first rule. Secondly, try and hold up social justice, human rights values, hold up the values, try and honor the woman in your life, try and honor, establish justice in society, establish character in society, good manners in society, because those are the basic conditions of being a Muslim. Now, the word in this particular verse, it talks about ard. What does the word ard mean? It means ard between the heavens and the earth. And this word ard has been used here in the meaning of spaciousness and extensiveness. In Arabic, the word is not only used for width, but it's also used for length and breadth and height. It means absolutely wide and absolutely magnificent. So here, the vastness of paradise has been described as the vastness of the heavens and the earth. It means the paradise, or heaven, is absolutely huge, immense. We cannot even imagine it. The gardens and palaces that human beings will receive, or that the believers will receive as in a reward, it will also serve as the dwelling place, but then the entire universe will be the home. The person will not be restricted to just one place as you are restricted in the world, where you just reach for the moon will be a struggle, but you can go anywhere you want to in the universe. That means, in summary and in conclusion, that means the paradise that you attain in this world, if you go from one place to another place, if you go from New York to, say you go from, let's say, two places, New York to London, right? You need to buy a ticket. You got to go across the Atlantic Ocean until you get to New York, right? But in paradise, when you go from London to New York, you just take 1 foot, you'll have like your own space, like a vehicle, like a transponder vehicle, or you'll have a lift in your house. You just press a button and you immediately, within 1 second, you are in New York. There's no need to buy a ticket. There's no need to get into a plane. You'll be transported to any place you want to. So if you're on Earth and you decide you're in paradise and you say, you know what, I want to go visit the moon today. Now, you don't have to go to the various NASA, National Aeronautical Space Administration. You don't have to go to the European Space Agency to say, you know what, I want to buy a ticket and must go for training, how to go into space travel. I need a space suit. I need to get money to go into space travel to see if I can get to Mars or Jupiter, or to go to Andromeda Galaxy. No, you don't need any of that. In paradise, when you go to Mars, or you go to the moon, you go to Mars, and you go to Jupiter, you just simply, you type in, you'll have like an iPad in your hand, you type in like your GPS, I want to go from here, I want to go to the planet Mars. You just type it in and you'll be given a special vehicle that will protect you. You just type it in, and within a a few seconds, within a few minutes, you're already in Mars. Within a few minutes, you're already in the Andromeda galaxy, because in there, time and space no longer exist. In your speed, you could be moving anywhere you want to, faster than the speed of light. The only thing that's faster than the speed of light, there is something faster than the speed of light. That is the speed of thought. So there will be giving magnificent the speed of thought. Astrophysics will understand it. Quantum mechanics will understand it. Neuroplasticity will understand it. The brain will be a magnificent brain. Why? Because we'll be nearness to the Creator with a supreme brain who has created all of us. And now we are tapping into that supreme brain to take us anywhere we want to in the entire universe. So we won't be locked up just in your little bit house and little bit palace. That palace is too small. The entire universe will be available to you. But to do that, to get that, you need to develop love for other people, develop love for human beings, develop love for animals, develop love for the environment. Most importantly, develop love for your Creator, develop love for the best human being who set foot on the earth, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Develop love for your parents, for your family, for your kith and kin. Develop love for the Quran. And once you do that, once you have a love for knowledge, develop a love for knowledge. Once you have an understanding of knowledge, develop love for physics and chemistry and mathematics and medicine. Try and use that to try and understand, how did the Creator, the Supreme Creator, put all of this into this world, and what can we do to make ourselves better human beings? And with that, you share knowledge. And especially my passion is to share knowledge with the Gen Z, so that the Gen Z can have a competitive advantage. We are all giants inside. We have all got untapped potential. We are all diamonds inside. But society takes mud and they throw it on top of us to make us seem as if we are second class or third class citizens. But you are a magnificent human being. Your children are a magnificent human being. And tomorrow, if you want to start a new business, don't let those people who are jealous of you, don't let them crush your dreams. If you got a dream in life, if you want to do something in life, then do it. But try and be the best you can be. But somewhere along in your career, you do a pause, you do a cruise control to say, you know what, the life of this world is not the only existence. Because this verse tells us very, very clearly that the life of this world is showing and boasting of and rivalry of wealth and children. But it tells us also that this world is a life of nothing but illusion. And that is a very, very frightening verse, that this whole life is nothing but an illusion. Stay well, look after yourself, ponder and think. And that's what the Quran tells us. The more we ponder, the more we think, then the more better brain we have. And this is the magnificent words from the Quran, which is the words of wisdom. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.